Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining today. This is the Vertical Response webinar, Learn to Build Your Email List. I'm Jill Bastion, and I'm the Training and Education Manager here at Vertical Response. Just a couple of things before I get started. First of all, this webinar will be probably about 40 minutes long. And at the end, I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So if you think of things along the way, go ahead and enter them into the box that you see in your GoToWebinar window, and I'll answer as many of those as I can at the end of the webinar. The other thing is we always get asked at every webinar, and if you've been to any of them recently or ever, you'll know what that is, but people always ask if this is being recorded. And the answer is yes, there is a recording being made right now, and I will post this on our recorded webinars page later on this afternoon. We'll also send out a follow-up email that has a link to that page so you can access the recorded version anytime you like. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, these are some of the things that we're going to cover today. Why you want to build an email mailing list, some list building basics to help get you started, and also some ideas. So we have lots of tips to help you grow your mailing list, and I'm going to go through some of those for you. Resources, and then as I said, we will do a Q&A. So first of all, why should you build an email list? Obviously, if you want to send out emails, you're going to need a list. But part of what you're doing when you're sending out your email newsletters or your emails is that you're building and establishing a relationship with your recipients. So you want to make sure that the list that you're mailing to are people who are going to be engaged and interested in what you're sending to them, and who will maybe want to share that with other people as well. So you want to make sure you have a good, clean list to start this relationship with your recipients. Another thing to keep in mind is that email addresses go stale very quickly. Generally speaking, if you have an email address that you haven't mailed to in the last 6 to 12 months, it's probably no longer good. There's a lot of reasons for that, and I will go over this in a little bit, but the one thing is that you're going to want to continue to build a mailing list so that any of the addresses that go bad will be replaced by new ones. Another reason why you want to build your own list rather than use a purchase list is, again, you're building a relationship with the people you're sending emails to, and the first step in that relationship, you don't want that to be people thinking that you purchased their email address. I don't know about you, but personally, I know when people have bought my email address, and I don't want to receive emails from them. Even if it's a company that I might be interested in, I just don't like the idea that they would want to buy my attention rather than try to get it in another way. Also, using purchase lists goes against Vertical Response's policies. We don't allow any kind of purchased, rented, or harvested addresses to be mailed through us. So you want to make sure that the list that you're using is one of people who have opted in to receive your emails from your company. And then there's a little stat at the bottom of this slide. 28% of email addresses become unreachable on average within a 12-month period. So like I said, within a year, your email addresses can go bad if you haven't been mailing to them. If you build it, they will come. So as I said, you do need to grow your mailing list, and this is something that you're going to want to do over time. This isn't going to happen overnight. So you want to put into place some ideas that will help to grow your list on a regular basis and over time, not something that's going to happen within an instant. People change jobs a lot, which is part of the reason why your email addresses, well, maybe not a lot, but part of the reason why your email addresses are going to go stale on a fairly regular basis. So like I said, people change jobs. The economy hasn't been all that great lately, and if people are signing up with their work email address, they could be losing the information that you're sending to them. One of the things that you want to do with your email campaigns is make sure that the content is compelling and interesting to your recipients, so that if they do change their email address, they want to let you know so that they can continue to get the information that you've been sending. So part of the way to help keep your list going strong is to make sure that the content that you're sending to your recipients are what they're expecting and gives them value. And then the last point on this slide is that everyone in your company can help grow your mailing list. It doesn't have to be just one person's job. There's lots of things that everyone can do, and I do have some examples on some slides later on. So, 3 things to keep in mind when you're building your mailing list. Get permission. Um, as I said, this is something that's required by vertical response, but it isn't just vertical response. Other email service providers like us also have the same type of policies that we have about permission-based lists. Also, getting permission from your recipients helps build that relationship at the beginning and make it a lot easier for your recipients to want to get what you're sending to them if they've already told you, yes, I want to get your information. This is something that we'll probably talk about quite a bit today, and all of the examples, of course, that I have later on are permission-based examples. And it's probably the hardest of the 3 on this slide is getting permission from the people that you want to be sending your emails to. Setting expectations is along the lines of what will be expected in your emails, what's the content that you're promising, what's the frequency of when you're going to be mailing. You want to set the expectations early on so your recipients know when to expect your emails and they know what great information you're going to have in them. And then keep it fresh. You want to mail to your list at least once a month to help keep your company or your service, your organization top of mind for your recipients, but it also will help keep your mailing list fresh as well. If somebody's address goes bad, if you start getting bounces, it'll be slowly over time instead of if you're mailing once a month, or once a year, you'll have like a whole ton of bounces at one time. So this will also help keep your mailing list clean. So to get started, now that you have at least some idea in your head of some of the rules around building your mailing list, how do you get started? So first of all, you want to start with what you have now. What are the sources and resources that you have available to you right now before you start growing your list? So you probably have a list of your current customers or clients that are maybe making purchases, who are using services that you offer, maybe attending events. You probably have a current mailing list of at least some type. Maybe some of your addresses are a little old, but you can at least start there. You also want to think about what your goals are for building your mailing list. And this will help you to recognize new opportunities for you to grow your mailing list. But do you want to grow your list? Do you just need a certain number? Are you trying to find more engaged subscribers? Are you trying to expand into new markets or to new areas? Try to reach some new people. So you want to think what is the purpose of growing your list, and then how are you going to go about doing that once you've decided what it is? And then also, by keeping in mind what your purpose is for growing your mailing list, as I said, you'll be able to recognize new opportunities, and then you'll also be able to, when you're interacting with people who could be your potential clients or your potential customers or potential subscribers to your mailing list, you'll be able to see that the opportunities to get them to be on your mailing list when you know what it is that you want to do with it. So let's go through some of the ideas for your mailing list, or for growing your mailing list. So I have quite a few slides with lots of ideas. They're all different kinds of things. Some of them maybe you can use, some of them maybe not. But it will help to get you to think about some of the different places that you can reach people to get them to be on your mailing list. So you probably have friends or colleagues who would want to be interested in receiving your emails, and ask them to sign up to receive them. Your friends can be great referral sources to not only recommend your business, but even just recommend or forward your emails. So you might want to start there first, friends or colleagues, or even current customers that you might want to start mailing at the beginning. You can, and this is probably something that some of you are already doing, setting up a fishbowl. So if you are having an event or attending an event, or even if you just have in your store, if you have a storefront, You can put a fishbowl where people can just drop in their business cards to sign up to be on your list. You want to make sure that there's a sign there that tells them that by dropping in your business card that you're going to be added to a mailing list, but it's a really easy way for you to help grow your list. There is a coffee shop near where I live, and they have a fishbowl on their counter. And they have a little sign that says, join our mailing list, drop your business card in the bowl. But then every week they do a drawing, and you can win a pound of coffee and their little travel coffee mug. Doesn't really cost them too much to give those away, but every time I go in there, there's always lots and lots of business cards. So it's something that people are really interested in, and it's really easy for them to do. They're not filling anything out, they're just dropping in their business card. Talking about business cards, a great opportunity for you to help grow your list is to put an offer on the back of your business cards. And that's what this is a picture of. This is one of our clients. And on the back of her cards, she has instructions on how to sign up for the newsletter. And if you do, you get 25% off the next purchase that you make. Again, it's really easy for her to do that. I've also seen where people include how to reach someone, a company on Facebook or Twitter. You could do that as well, and I'll show you in a little bit how to add sign-up forms there. So if you include information on signing up at your website and maybe put your Twitter handle or your Facebook page, people can sign up there as well to be on your mailing list. Usually it's a space that isn't being used. So if you look at the back of your card right now, you don't have to, I can't see if you're looking at it or not, but if you look at the back of your business card, it's probably blank. Most people's cards don't have anything on the back. You can write there, sure, but it's great that you can use that space to help drive people to your website and to help grow your list. So again, you do want to make sure you're getting permission for people who are signing up. One of the things that we offer for you here at Vertical Response is an opt-in form. So you want to try using your opt-in forms on your website or your blog. And you don't have to put it just on one page. You could put it on every page if you wanted to. On Vertical Response, we have a little section at the bottom of every page on our website that has basically a site map, but there's a box on every page to sign up to receive newsletters. So if that's something that you're able to do, you maybe don't need it on just one page. Maybe you want to put it on a couple pages. If you have a blog, make sure you're putting it on your blog so that people can sign up and get your emails. And the example that you can see here also has the expectations that I was telling you that you want to set. So this one says, get tips, tricks, and insider marketing secrets delivered right to your inbox twice a month. So that's already setting the expectations for this particular newsletter. This is what you're going to get out of it, and this is how often it's going to be mailed to you. You can use a pop-up window. Now, I know sometimes people think it's a little iffy with the pop-up windows. I think that the problem with pop-up windows is probably kind of past a little bit. When they first came out, people went crazy with them. They were all over everywhere, and most people just started blocking them. But one of the things that we also do on some of our landing pages, if people go there but they don't sign up to create an account, when they go to leave, we'll have a little window that says to sign up to receive our newsletter. So they don't have to create an account if they're not ready, but they can still receive some great tips by signing up for a newsletter. So social media is also a great way to help get people to sign up for your mailing list. You can add an opt-in form on your Facebook page. If you look to the right-hand side, that image there is a picture of a sign-up form on the Vertical Response Facebook page. And it's really easy for you to do. You can use the opt-in form in your Vertical Response account and use it on Facebook. There's instructions if you go to the help site, help.verticalresponse.com. And you'll be able to easily just copy that code and paste it onto Facebook. And then as people come to your Facebook page, they can sign up to receive your newsletters there. You can also use Twitter. Now, Twitter has a limited amount of space to put information, and so it's a little bit harder. But you can tweet to have people join your mailing list. And one of the things you can do is copy your Optin Form URL and then maybe put it in like Bitly or Owly, and then you can post it in Twitter and have people follow that. Or you can direct them to your website on Twitter if you want them to sign up. Just direct them to a page where your Optin Form is, and they can sign up there. You also want to include a forward to a friend link in all of your emails. It's an easy way for the people who already are on your mailing list to spread the word about not only the great information that's in your emails, but also the great things, or products or services that your company is offering. So it makes it really easy for people who are your advocates to share how much they enjoy what it is that you're doing. This is an example. This is a picture of what you can put in your email. It's really easy to do in your vertical response account. And when the email gets forwarded, the recipient will know who's forwarding it to them. Plus, we automatically include a link where they can add themselves to your mailing list. They just can click a link and we'll put them on your list. So it's also an easy way to grow your mailing list, and it's free, and it's a great way to spread the word for the people who really like using your system. So this is an example for the opt-in form. Excuse me. You can include a link to sign up in your emails if you want to. So if you think that there's a lot of people who might be forwarding the email, or if you're sharing your email on social media, this makes it really easy for people to be able to sign up to receive your emails. So in your account, if you click to where your opt-in form is, you'll be seeing where the HTML code is. If you just click the button on the little sample of the opt-in form, the submit button, it'll pop open another window, which is what this is a screenshot of, and you can use that URL as a link. So you could put that in your email as a link. You could have it just be text and say, click here to sign up for a newsletter. You could get a little picture of an envelope, if you just search online. Get a little picture of an envelope and link that. But then when people click on the link, your opt-in form is going to pop up, and then they'll be able to sign up to be on your mailing list. So if you're not familiar with Groupon, I think right now most people probably are, especially after the Super Bowl. But this is a good way to help you grow your list and bring more attention to your business. Basically what you need to do is Groupon will allow you to offer a discount. A lot of times people will do like you get $70 worth of service for $35, or pay $20 and get $50 worth of services, or whatever it is that you want to offer for your discount. And then Groupon sends out an email to the people on their list with this offer, and it requires a certain number of people to be taken up on the offer, but as long as enough people do it, then your Groupon will be out there. It's usually for a day, and then you just need to make sure that you're collecting email addresses for this particular discount. Groupon has some merchant services that actually can help you do this. So they actually are pretty good at helping people grow their email list and using email marketing and stuff like that for their Groupon. So that might be something, if you're offering a service or you have a product, you can use Groupon to do that. You can also offer discounts and special offers for people who are signing up to be on your mailing list. This is an example of one of the lists I'm actually on. But if you sign up, you get special deals, so they're telling you exactly what you're going to be getting. And then you also get 10% off your next purchase. So you can offer something special for people who sign up to be on your mailing list. You can also create things like birthday clubs. You could offer free shipping, or like this one, you can get a % off for signing up to be on the mailing list. And that can help drive people to want to be signing up to receive your emails. So one of the things we talk about sometimes, if you come to any of our other webinars, is using postcards. Now, at Vertical Response, we do have a postcard product. If you haven't used it, we do have it, but you don't have to necessarily use our system. But you can use direct mail to help grow your email list. So one of the things that you can do is use postcards to drive people to your website. So if you have a postal address, but you don't have an email address for someone, you can use a postcard to get them to go to your website. But you could also put on the postcard a particular landing page. So maybe you have a special page that you want them to go to so you can track that they came through your postcard. And maybe have something special up there for the people who receive the postcard. They can sign up for your newsletter. Maybe you'll give them a special discount for coming through the postcard. One of the things that we will allow in our system, which we don't for emails, is that you can use a purchase list for postcards. And as I said, for email addresses, we do not allow purchase lists, but postcards don't have the same or postal addresses don't have the same regulations around them as email addresses do. So it is certainly one thing that you can do. And you could purchase a list of a specific geographic area, a specific demographic, even people who have a particular interest or hobby, and then you can get them to come to your website by sending them a postcard. You can also send postcards and offer them a special offer if they sign up for your mailing list. So it would have to be something that they could get only if they sign up to be on your mailing list, and you can use a direct mail offer for that as well. So as I had mentioned earlier, growing the mailing list isn't the responsibility of just one person, unless your company has one person, in which case, sorry, then it would be one person's responsibility. But you can get everybody in your company involved in helping to grow your mailing list. And one of the things that you can do is incentivize your employees to collect valid email addresses. So maybe if they collect 20 valid email addresses, then they get a kicker of $50. You could even have a contest with your staff on who can get the most valid email addresses. Obviously, they have to be valid. 123@123.com doesn't count. My friend claims that's her email address. You can also give your employees a reason to ask for your customers' email addresses by having these type of incentives. It makes it easier for them to understand the purpose of this and to ask your customers for them. If you have, for instance, a restaurant, you could have, again, like a business card bowl or even a sign-up book. Maybe you just have a guest book at the checkout or at a host stand where people could sign up to receive your emails. You could also offer a VIP discount for people who are on your mailing list, and then they'll make them want to come back into your restaurant or into your business. So downloads, if you're offering something on your website, maybe you're giving something away free like a PDF or a white paper, something like that, have your visitors sign up to your Optin Form first before you let them download this. This is something that I see quite a bit for a lot of the stuff that I go and check out online myself. They require some contact information and my email address always before I can take a look at some of the documentation that they might be giving away for free. So that's a great way to also help grow your mailing list. If people are interested enough in your white paper, then they're probably interested enough in what email you might be sending out. If you're doing speaking events, you can work into your speech information about you and your at your website, so you can drive people to go to your website, and then maybe you can offer some kind of special deal if they do sign up for your newsletter. So if you are going to speaking events or something like a trade show or something where you might be speaking to people, that might be an easy way to get people to come to your site, because they're going to be watching you and they're going to be paying attention to what you're saying, and that makes it much easier for you to be able to get them to go check out your website. So we're going to go over just a few things and then wrap up the webinar. So some list building do's. So you're on the right track if you are putting your sign-up forms on your website, on landing pages, on blogs, and on your social media, because that's where your followers are going to be. That's where your recipients are going to be able to find you. If you're giving people a compelling reason to sign up, that's great. Again, make sure that you promise, whatever you promise, you deliver. So if you tell them that you're going to mail twice a month, make sure you are. If you're going to mail once a month, make sure you are. Don't mail once a week or once a day if you promise that it's only going to be once a month. Make sure you're upfront about any privacy protection or what you intend to do with the list of people signing up. People tend to be a little bit leery if they're not sure that you're going to keep their email private. A lot of times on an opt-in form, people will say, or companies will say, we will not sell your contact information. And that will make people a little more interested in signing up to be on your mailing list. You're also on the right track if you are planning to see churn. So some people, email addresses are going to go bad. Some people might have too much inbox clutter, and they might decide that they're not going to read your email as they thought they might. Don't be offended by that. Some people are just going to change their mind. But you do need to plan that your mailing list is going to need some work to continue to grow it because there will be some losses along the way. So list building don'ts, you're on the wrong track if you're buying a list of bulk email addresses. And that's what I was saying earlier. Vertical Response doesn't allow these type of addresses to be mailed through our system, and most email service providers don't allow that. You also can't use harvested addresses that you find on web pages. So you can't go to a web page and find somebody's email address that says info at whatever, bobswebsite.com. They do need to sign up to be on your mailing list, so no purchased or harvested addresses. If you're selling or renting your customer database without notifying them ahead of time, that's also a really bad thing. That can really annoy them, and you can certainly lose a lot of subscribers to your mailing list if you are doing things like that without their prior consent. So those are some tips to help you grow your mailing list. These are some resources. If you go to Vertical Response's marketing blog, so blog.verticalresponse.com, you can take a look at there's lots of marketing tips there, but there's lots of tips for growing your mailing list. Also, the VR Marketing Lounge has all kinds of resources there. If you don't go to the lounge, it's the link in your account that says community. This is basically a forum for people who are using our system, and there's lots of places in there where you can talk to other people about using our system in general, ideas for growing your list, things like that. We also have a guide that will be coming out later today with 50 ways for you to grow your list. So if you go to our guides page, you'll be able to get that. And there are 50 ideas on there to help you grow your mailing list. Some of them I went over today. Most of them are actually from our blog, and we've just compiled them into one big list for you. But it'll make it really easy for you to get some new ideas to help you start growing your mailing list.